What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Joe's Madness. If you're new to the channel and have a passion for combat sports, punch that subscribe button into submission. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to take a moment and slap that like button like a pimp. Share the video with your family and friends and all over the internet if you want. And let me know what you think in the comment section as well. So we got the Ultimate Fighter 25 finale, and we've got Elias Theodorou versus Brad Tavares, and this is my live streaming play-by-play commentary of the fight. Right now they're being introduced by Buffer, and Elias is in the red with the mane, and we have Brad Tavares across the ring with the black trunks and the white streak on the side, and this is going to be a badass middleweight fight. I've had a lot of stuff going on tonight so far, so I missed most of the fights earlier. It's my first live stream for tonight for the TUF 25 finale, TUF Redemption. Who will win the Redemption season finale? Who is going to take the championship in the TUF finale? Who's going to get the contract and the money? But first up, we have some other fights coming at us where we have Elias versus Brad, and this should be a pretty fun fight. Both men have got 14 wins, so one of them is going to get a 15th win in their pro careers. Elias has only lost one fight so far in his pro career. Brad's lost 4 fights. So we have Elias with some kicking. Oh, he goes for a head kick, then he goes for a thigh kick. Brad blocks him. Elias is moving around a lot, goes in for a body kick, goes for a takedown, and gets caught. What's up? What's up, Joe, or WhatsApp? Joe, I'm kind of confused by WhatsApp. Joe, what's happening? Okay. Not too much, just chilling, watching the fights now. I had a lot of stuff going on lately. The school year was over, so just stuff with my daughter and whatnot. But anyway, so we have Tavares on top of Elias right now, and he takes his back. Wow. I'm very surprised. He's sprawled out on the side of Elias with Elias on his knees on the ground, and Brad is bear hugging him, trying to get the hooks in. He's got one hook in. Brad's rolling around with Tavares on the ground. Brad is staying, Elias is staying on his knees. He's trying to turn into him. He turns into him and gets a single leg on Brad. They're both standing up. And, oh, Brad goes with a left hand that hits the shoulder of Elias. And now they're both standing up. A very intriguing fight. Oh, a kick by Elias that hits the hand of Brad. Brad goes for a thigh kick. Elias bouncing in and out, moving around a lot. Elias standing very interesting. He keeps on switching his stance from left to right, southpaw to standard. Oh, a head kick that gets blocked by Brad. If that didn't get blocked, that would have been straight to the jaw. Oh, Brad goes in with lefts and rights and gets bear hugged. They're in the clinch, and they're both trying to swing each other down. And they're close to the cage. Who's going to get pushed into the cage? Both heads go into the cage. They bounce off the cage real quick. And now Elias has his back up against the cage in a post. And now he's getting pushed around the cage like a piece of cheese on a cheese grater. But then Elias gets off the cage with an underhook on Brad. They both swing with lefts and rights, a knee to the head of Brad. Elias getting rocked a couple times by Brad. Brad and Elias are standing in the center of the octagon now. They're going back and forth. Elias with a kick to the hand of Brad, trying to throw him off. Elias is moving around to his right. He looked like he was going to go for a karate kick there for a moment, like Danielson from the Karate Kid, but didn't go for it. Oh, he went for a bitch slap to Brad, and Brad hit him with a couple of punches for swinging his hand out like that. Brad Tavares is being very... Oh, he just ate a left hand by Elias, but Brad threw another strike out at him. Elias trying to go for another backhanded slap to Brad. Brad ain't having none of that. Elias has got his back toward the cage, and Brad comes in on him and hits him a couple times, and Elias has an arm. He's trying to hook up the arms and take him down or something. He's slapped him in the kidney or liver area. I'm not sure which side it's on, to be honest. So now Elias and Brad are clinched up, trying to fight for a leg, trying to get to the legs. Oh, knees and body strikes as they're clinched up. They're rotating and around. Oh, a knee to the gut of Elias. He rocked him in the belly pretty hard with that knee. Oh, Brad hit Elias with a nice right hand to the jaw, and Elias kicks him in the rib cage on the way out. Brad just rocked him with the left hand, went for the overhand right that just grazed Elias's face. They're both in the center of the octagon as Elias is bouncing from left to right, and he's going a lot to the right. Brad is just standing there. He goes for a head kick, gets blocked by Elias. Elias is chasing down Brad as Brad has his back toward the cage this time. Elias is in the center of the octagon. He goes and he kicks the arm again of Brad. He goes for another kick and misses, kicking the air away. Brad is moving and taking the center of the octagon. Now Elias runs at him with a head kick that gets blocked by Brad. Brad is coming after him now. Brad's getting ready to do something. He goes for a leg kick. Looked like he was going to go for a left, but he decided to just go for a leg kick. Oh, that was just a miss by a head kick by Brad. Brad just almost connected on Elias. Elias going for head kicks too and missing. Oh, a couple of kicks by Elias, and they end up at the end of the round. So who won that round? That was a very interesting round. I would have to give it to Brad with the takedown and getting Elias's back, and then with the output of strikes that he had. I know Elias did do some nice striking there as well, so it could potentially have gone to Elias, but I feel that Brad won that round 10-9, and we'll be going to the second round here in a moment. You're welcome, A-Right. What's going on, Arthur Martins? So this is, it's a pretty interesting fight so far. I'm actually going, with my prediction, I went with Elias over Brad, but right now Brad is winning the fight, he's taking the first round in my opinion. If I was a judge there at cage side, I'd have to say that Brad took the first round. Now, I don't know. Those Burger King hot dogs do not look good. I'd rather grill a hot dog myself. Buying a hot dog at a fast food place, come on now, advertisements. So next up, we got the second round with Elias Theodorou versus Brad Tavares. And they tap gloves, and here we go. Brad has got the center of the octagon, Elias with his back toward the cage, and they both take turns swinging right hands. Brad kicks Elias, and he backs up to the cage. Brad with a devastating left hand that sends Elias to the ropes, but then Brad swings at him, and he gets his back taken on a swinging back fist. Elias has Brad up against the cage now, as Brad was able to spin around while Elias had his back when he went up to the cage. Elias is scooting down, trying to take Brad down, but Brad's sprawling out with one leg, posted up. Elias going for a single leg instead of a double leg. Brad stuffs him and slams Elias head first into the mat and spins around, and he's got for a moment there, he had a cross face, and he looked like he was going to take Elias's back, but then they're both chest to chest now, and they're standing around, pushing each other around in the octagon, clinched up with each other. Elias is going for the 2-1. Oh no, now he's going for a guillotine. Brad pops his head out from a standing guillotine attempt, and he eats a knee by Elias. He gets spun around and pushed up against the cage, and Elias has got Brad up against the cage. He's hitting him with lefts and rights to the body. He hits him with an uppercut. Brad gets away from Elias and hits him with the right hand on the way out. And now they're both standing in the center of the octagon. Oh, a nasty left hand by Brad. A right hand by Brad. Another right hand by Brad as they're clinched up. And another right hand by Brad. Elias was hitting him as well, but Brad was hitting him with more devastating strikes there. And it looks like Elias is a little glazed and dazed, blinking his eyes. He ends up eating a kick and goes in for a takedown, and they're clinched up in the center of the cage, walking around trying to bully Brad up against the cage, and Elias gets Brad up against the cage as he's trying to scoop down for a single leg maybe. Oh, he goes for an elbow forearm to Brad's face. Brad swings out with the left hand. Elias with a forearm to Brad's face. Elias was moving around a lot. A leg kick by Brad and gets taken down by Elias. And now they're both standing up with their hips and butts in the air. And Elias has got the neck of Brad. He's kneeing him in the shoulder. It looked like he was kneeing him in the head for a moment, but he's kneeing him in the shoulder to try to get him down. He's got a head and arm with the choke leaning over him. He's kneeing him in the shoulder, very close to the head. Now they're both standing up, and he's still got the head and arm, and he scoops down, trying to take the leg of Brad. Oh, a knee to the head of Brad as they're both standing straight up, lefts and rights, and a kick to the body and rib cage area of Brad Tavares by Elias. Elias is backing up Brad. It is putting the pressure on him, coming after him, and Brad eats a left hand by Elias, and Brad clinch up and are up against the cage with Brad with control, and he knees Elias in the belly, and now a forearm by Elias. Brad still, oh, now they're up the cage, and they're clinched up. Oh, an uppercut by Elias on the way out. Brad swung with the right. Another very close round by these two men with a minute and a half to go in the second round. This is a very tough one to score. I can still kind of feel, overhand right by Elias. Elias is moving around to the right. Brad's putting pressure on him, closing the distance. Went for a head kick and missed. Elias going for a kick to try to push Brad away from him, and he missed with that one. Elias looking for the range. Put his hand out. Oh, he hits him with the left, and Elias with the nice left hand, but Brad still just walking forward. Brad eating leg kicks. He's drumming on them legs. Brad's coming after him. Oh, Brad with the knee to the shoulder, very close to a head to the knee. A knee to the head, I mean. Elias went for a head kick afterwards and completely missed. Elias moving around a lot. Brad kicks him in the thigh, and a thigh kick by Elias. Elias and Brad going back and forth. Brad with the head kick and misses. Elias with the head kick. Elias looks up at the clock with 15 seconds to go. Oh, a head kick attempt by Brad that gets blocked by Elias. And we end this one with the two of them standing in the center of the octagon with neither. Oh, at the buzzer, Elias clips Brad with the left to the jaw, and we are going to a third round. Now, with that round, it was a lot of back and forth. I gotta give that round to to Elias. So Elias had, I felt, more combinations and punches and kicks landed. He also had gotten a takedown on Brad when Brad went for a kick, and he grabbed his leg and took him down and had him for a moment, and then he had pressure on him. So it's going to be very intriguing to see who comes out into the third round with a lot more, who's more fresh, who gets their second wind in the third round, who ends up getting the more dominant striking. Is we going to see a takedown and a submission attempt? It's going to be interesting. So, excuse me. So we have a highlight for some reason. Oh, the kick to the body. They're showing different things with that. That was interesting. The slow-mo on that. So it looks like we've got a round apiece on this fight. Are we going to see another decision tonight or not? I believe, from what I recall, there's only been one finish so far, and that was Tecia Torres with her first finish in her career happening tonight at the TUF finale, 25, season 25. Oh, Elias gets him, and he takes him, and he gets him down to the ground. He got him with a bear hug. He had arms wrapped around the waist and picked him up and took him down. And Elias is trying to pass over on Brad. Well, Brad's on his side. Brad has a hand in between the legs of Elias trying to stop him, and Elias is hitting him while he's on there. Well, Brad's on the ground hitting him in the legs, trying to scoop up and get around his side. Brad is holding on to the inside of the thigh of Elias, and Elias is trying to spin around and get his back. He's trying to pop that arm off of him, and he does. Brad's trying to push him with his head and shoulder down on Elias. Elias is trying to trip out the legs and keep Brad on the ground. Brad's standing up with 3 points on the ground, and he's trying to spin around, and he does, and he ends up standing up with Brad and up against the cage. Elias is standing up with Brad up against the cage now. Right now, Elias has got the control on Brad with the underhook, and he's trying to scoop him up off the cage again. Brad is switching positions and got a bear hug on him, so they're both bear hugging each other. The referee's warning them, come on guys, let's get something going. Now, Elias is getting, looks like Elias might be getting choked by Brad. It looks like he might, and Elias scoops him up and takes him down again, and now they're in a north-south position, like a knee to the head, a knee to the shoulder of Brad, another knee to the shoulder of Brad. And now they're both standing up, and Elias is trying to go for another takedown attempt as he's got his head in between Brad's legs. Going for a single leg, Brad's pushing down on his head while they're up against the cage. He's getting close to grabbing that leg. Oh, Brad scoops up Elias from behind, from underneath the leg, in between the legs, and scoops him down into the ground for a moment. Now Brad is getting the side and the back of Elias while they're on the ground, but Elias is on his hands and knees, and Brad is trying to scoop around and get to the back of Elias. Elias is standing up now. Brad is too, but Elias is hunched over. Elias is trying to pick the ankle and the leg of Brad and take him back down again. Brad's trying to scoop in between the legs. Oh, Brad ends up taking his back when he scooped him down to the ground. Now Brad is in position for a possible rear naked choke as he's on his back, and he's got a hook in. He's got both hooks in now in between the legs of Elias. Elias has got to be thinking, what the hell is going on? It's like, no, I was trying to take him down and he gets my back now. No, get off of me. Elias is looks like he might get choked out by Brad Tavares here in the third round as Brad is on his back. He's got his hooks in. Elias is looking like he's grimaced in pain, and Brad's going for that rear naked choke. He's got the legs wrapped in. Oh, Elias is trying to slide out. He's looking up at the clock with 1:10 to go. Elias gets over onto his knees. Brad's still on his back, kind of, and Brad slams him back down into the ground. Brad is very high up on Elias right now. He's got his legs in between. Oh, he's going for a Kimura lock or an armbar now. Brad's transitioned quite a bit, or is he going to go for like a Oompa Loompa, Oompalata, Americana? What's he doing? He's trying to get that arm out and trying to get that arm into a submission attempt. It looked like he might be going for, I don't know, man. This is crazy. Elias's head is by the ass of Brad. Brad spun around. Elias got out of it when he spun around, and Brad takes to Elias's back again, and he's got his legs wrapped up around underneath him, and he slides right out. Elias slides out, and they're standing up with 15 seconds to go. Are we going to see the two of them? But, oh, a head kick by Brad Tavares that rocked Elias. Elias is holding on to the leg, and he pushes the leg off, and we're about to get the buzzer. A leg kick. They're both swinging lefts and rights, and the referee has to jump in between them to stop them, and we are going to a judge's decision. And that one is looking like it is going to go to Brad Tavares 2-1. Even though I did pick Elias to win this in my prediction, I want Elias to win this, so I would be right in my prediction, but I believe I'm going to be wrong again. For like the last 3 events, I believe I've done really well. So far in this event, I've done horrible in my predictions. I didn't post any predictions for the last event. I believe it was UFC Fight Night, Oklahoma City, where there was a lot of controversy and a lot of stuff happened. But I think I'll do a prediction review and show everybody what I had predicted and what I picked, because I, track it by the UFC pick'em. So that was definitely. I did not expect this to go to the decision. I thought somebody would get finished in this fight. I mean, I almost always pick a knockout, TKO, or submission. It's very rare in a prediction where I pick a decision, because I always want to see a finish. I never want to see it go to the judge's decision. Now, in a moment, we'll be getting the judge's decision, and it's probably going to be Brad winning this one. That Brad Tavares defeats Elias by unanimous decision. All three judges, 29-28 for Brad Tavares. Who should Brad fight next in the middleweight division? I'm going to have to think that one over and do a post-show review after this event is over and figure out who I think won this. Oh, hey, that's Ray's, I think last name Sopo, Ray, who was in charge of World Series of Fighting, who's changed it now to Premier Fighting League, I believe. One thing that kind of aggravated me last week about that was that I did not know that there was a rain delay with the race. So then my DVR, when I set that to record, it started out in the end of the co-main event, but at least it recorded everything. Well, FS1 actually lately, I don't know. I feel like they're slating the UFC because the weigh-ins aren't when they're supposed to be on and whatnot. But anyways, so this was a fun fight. It was cool to see Brad win. I am a fan of Brad. I just felt that Elias had more, and that he was going to defeat Brad in this fight. So Elias loses, Brad wins. We will be back in a few minutes when the next fight, when the next two fighters are being announced for the fight. Who do we got up next? Let's see here. We've got Jared Kenyer versus the UFC debuting underdog Nick Roderick in the next fight in the light heavyweight division in what should be a slugfest. I'm looking forward to that. So we'll be back within about 5 minutes for that fight. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to punch that subscribe button into submission here at Joe's Madness on YouTube, and slap the like button like a pimp if you enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching. Combat Sports is awesome, and you guys are amazing. I'll be back in a couple of minutes once they are getting ready to announce the next fight, when they're introducing the next two fighters. Thanks for watching.